everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So much money for you guys, and today we'll definitely begin with our history O levels. Okay, so our first ever topic is going to be from the section number 1. So we're beginning with the section number 1 of history, which is the first topic comes to be our decline of the Mughal Empire. It's going to be a very long video where we'll discuss each and everything about decline of the Mughal Empire. So in paper, the question will come from something like a 40 mark, 4 mark, or it could be like 10 mark, and it can be of 7 mark. So if you get like a 14 mark question, what you need to do is, like, if you have like 14 mark a question, so you need to write around 6 reasons and a conclusion too. And then conclusion, probably your questions are going to be like define why the Mughal Empire declined. Okay, it could be one of the questions, or it can be something like, do you think the Aurangzeb policies were one of the main reasons why Mughal Empire declined? So this could be, such reasons that can come, and if you agree or not, right? So let's move with it and let's just do it. Okay, so first of all, we have decline of the Mughal Empire. If I talk about this topic, first let's begin with an introduction. If Mughal Empire declined, what is Mughal Empire? Like, do we know about it? No, So yeah, I will talk about the decline of the Mughal Empire. Introduction now. So what is Mughal Empire? ये है क्या चीज़? So I'll need a pen, which is something like this. Let's change the pen, and they're like, yeah. So Mughal Empire was an empire, okay, that was all over the subcontinent, all over the subcontinent. It was all over the subcontinent, and it was something which was ruled by Muslims. So it went around like 200 years से ज़्यादा इन्होंने rule किया था. It was ruled by Muslims, and the first Muslim who ruled this empire, who started this empire, was Babur. This empire accession was started by Babur. Started by Babur in 1526. Okay, so in 1526, the Mughal Empire came up, like when Babur actually came to the throne. Then Aurangzeb was one of the empire in between, but he was the one जिसकी वजह से the empire got strengthened, and he was the one why the empire declined. So we'll be learning that why empire declined because of Aurangzeb, and what was the thing that he did also strengthen the empire. So yeah, well, let's begin with our journey. The Mughal Empire actually, after death of the Aurangzeb, the Mughal Empire gradually started to decline, because the future leaders were not so, you guys can say, they were not very responsible. They were like, the Mughals in past were like pleasure seeking. They were mostly pleasure seeking, and they just lived luxurious life. They loved luxurious life, the lavish lifestyle they had. So one of the reasons why the Mughal Empire declined after the death of Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb died in 1707. Aurangzeb died in 1707 के अंदर he died. And it took 150 years after the death of Aurangzeb to Mughal Empire to completely decline. It took, let me light it also, because it's very important points first of all कोई भी 14 मार्क का क्वेश्चन होगा, you need to describe or you need to give an introduction of the Mughal Empire. It took 1 years to Mughal Empire to completely decline. So yeah, we're done with the introduction, which is great. Then let's begin with some reasons why it declined. So let's go with our reasons, the very, very famous reasons. Let's go. Oh yeah, so first reason comes to be vast empire. ठीक है, अब why vast empire, let me also explain this. I just need a little light pen. So one of the first of the reasons we get is like a vast empire. Why a vast empire? Because during Aurangzeb rule, ठीक है, during the Aurangzeb rule, they had some policies, or you can say the expansion. They started capturing the land. They started capturing the land in the subcontinent, because at the time there were also Marathas, they were Sikh, they were Hindus, they were Muslims. The Muslims were the Mughal Empire, and the Mughal Empire wanted to get as many as land they could get. So they had like policy of land capturing, and they started capturing land under their expansion policy. Okay, capturing land. So they started capturing the land under the expansion policy. Yeah, so we were done with this reason. Then by vast empire, let me somehow explain it. So during Aurangzeb rule, they used to capture the land in order to have their expansion policy. While the land of the Mughal Empire tha, it got a lot expanded. Like it expanded from Kashmir to Mysore and Afghanistan to Assam. So this is like huge. Like Kashmir to Mysore, Afghanistan to Assam. Assam was in like Bangladesh, right? It is in India right now, probably. I remember clearly, but yeah. So that time it was in Bangladesh, which is now that could be like East Pakistan. So it increased a lot, it expanded a lot because they are under the expansion policy. So it was very difficult for a single ruler, like after the rulers after Aurangzeb, or like till Aurangzeb, who even could not provide services to the people, the people that those used to live there, because it was a vast area. We had lack of communication, we had lack of transportation, we had lack of infrastructure. That time there used to be no telecommunication, because we used to not have like Zoom calls that we have today, or traveling was very difficult that time. It used to take, today we have airplanes, we have airlines and everything, but that time we didn't have anything. So it was very difficult for a single ruler to manage these all difficulties, or to administrate the empire. So it was one of the reasons why Mughal Empire declined. And the people, the reason was a vast empire and weak administration. What is like weak administration? As a single ruler could not handle and administrate the entire empire, there were a lot of people who had a lot of problems, and they wanted their king to solve those, but the ruler could not do that. So many of them were offended to that too. Moreover, when Aurangzeb died, he divided the empire to his sons, right? So he can avoid any disruption or fights or war over it. But after Aurangzeb died, his son fought a lot for the throne. Most of that got also, like one of his son got for one year and then he died, and like it keeps on going, and at the end of the day there was a lot of loss of life, money, and armies. Then one of the reasons comes to be the what was that? Yeah, succession dispute. Like how succession dispute? Yes. Succession So yeah, then we had succession dispute. Like there was no law of succession that time. What do you mean by no law of succession? Okay, when a ruler dies, then when a ruler dies, his son or gets the throne. But that time they had no law of succession, so that's why that was like the solely reason why the war took place between the people and the leaders who wanted to extend, and the Marathas were like there also. So when there is no law of succession, there's like people fought a lot, and which actually affected the local population too. So there was like loss of life, armies, and within that we had loss of lives, army, and money. When even that the army had a lot of money, or they had a great wealth. So we had loss of money, life in that time. Yeah, so this was like the succession dispute. Let's also move some notes about the succession dispute, which will definitely help us to remember points which are very important for our. So here, like after Aurangzeb's death, his sons were not capable for the administration. There was always a succession dispute when a ruler dies, because there was no law of succession. Only Akbar, yes. So Akbar was the one who only came to the throne. Akbar came to the throne without a war or fighting. Okay, without a war, he came without a war and some fighting वगैरह. Then it says that only Akbar came to throne without fighting, and Aurangzeb divided his empire among his sons to avoid any conflict. But after his death, his sons fought for power. Due to this, conditions worsened. And it not only caused disunity, but a lot of loss of life, money, and army. So this is something that you guys should know about it. Then we have another reason, that is a lavish lifestyle. Sorry guys. So what do you mean by lavish lifestyle? As I told you before, guys, that the Mughal rulers were always pleasure seeking, and they were like had very luxurious life due to they had money, and they always were busy in gambling, drinking, prostitution, women, and a lot of things. They were into a lot of un-Islamic activities. They were very hypocrite people. They were always busy in this, that, and they spent the most of time in this lavish life for all their luxuries, except they did not even did something for their people, or the people those who used to give them taxes and stuff. Even when Aurangzeb was there, he built a pearl mosque in Lahore, which actually given a very bad example to the future successors. Yeah, and yeah, we have a lot of points now. So yeah, they built a pearl mosque in Delhi. Sorry, God, for Lahore. So he built a pearl mosque in Delhi, and this also set a very bad example for the future successors. They always neglected their duties, and they were moving from the Islamic teach. So yeah, they wasted their money and time in luxuries, except like they could, instead of like that, they could administrate the empire. After that, we have some Aurangzeb policies too. So like these both points are very important for us to remember. So first of all, there was like number one policy, what was jizya tax. What was jizya tax? Okay. So jizya tax was imposed on Hindus or everyone by this was of idea of Akbar. Like he was a past ruler. empire. So he imposed jizya tax on everyone. But now what Aurangzeb did was to impose jizya tax only on the non-Muslims, and he told them that, and he threatened them that if they will not pay this tax, they will not get any safety and protection, and they will be not allowed of any top post, like in civil services they will be not allowed any top post. So non-Muslims thought, and they gave them the taxes, but instead of giving them protection and things, the Aurangzeb banned their culture. He burned their temples and their customs and traditions and everything. So this was like bad of him that he did. And Aurangzeb was someone who interfered a lot into the religious matters of non-Muslims. So that's something that offended the non-Muslims a lot. Uske baad he had a policy which is known as a Mansabdar's policy. What he did was to divide the before his son won. So what he did was to divide the empire into districts, like the main cities, and he appointed a Mansabdar. What a Mansabdar? Like a governor or a caretaker for each district, and the Mansabdars were responsible for collecting taxes and to provide services to the people. But those Mansabdars were like corrupted, and they used the taxes for their own use, like for their unfair means. They were corrupted, and Mansabdar responsibility for to collect taxes and administrate. They had each district had a separate Mansabdar. Non-Muslims were actually, they were converted into Muslims forcefully. They were also removed from the top post and stuff. So there were like some policies. Then religious policies of Aurangzeb could be like, when he came to the throne, he wanted to make this empire, or like the entire subcontinent, as a pure Islamic state. He wanted to do a lot of things, and he introduced some reforms, like he appointed censors, which means examiners or something, like people in each, like the most important cities, and they told them to enforce Islam and to put down all the un-Islamic teachings. Like the people were, there were some un-Islamic activities like drinking, gambling, prostitution, right? So these were things that he did. He banned Sati in 1664. Sati was when it was a Hindu custom. It was done by a lot of people in subcontinent. It was when when a husband died, the widow, the husband's wife also. So in Hindu custom, what we do is just we burn, when a person dies, we burn their body into ashes, right? With the like you can see this, this woods, and their body is placed here and they are burned. So what they do was to burn the widow with their husband's body. So we used to burn the person there, but what happened, women's were to burn together, right? So he also banned this, and 1668 he banned the music at the court, everything. And after that he demolished the Hindu temples, and as he wanted to spread Islam, he demolished all the Hindu temples and made masjids. After that he actually banned bhang throughout the country. Bhang was a very bhang was a sort of like a drug that time that was used, like in holy festival we even use that, but like that was like quite strong one. So bhang was forbid in the country that time. But it had some sort of drug, and that was forbidden in Islam. After that it had no naval force. The Mughal Empire did not had any naval force, while if we talk about the British, we had a war of independence. If you guys don't remember, there was no navy force in Mughal Empire. Even whatever weaponry we had, they were traditional weaponry. They were very overconfident, and their overconfidence took over them into affliction. And the British here, they had a very trained, confident, well-managed army. Weak army. So this is something that the armies did not have expertise. The army did not have any efficiency. When you don't have any efficiency and expertise, were declining over the time. Because obviously I want to tell you something, that time when we had like a war of independence, the British was going through an industrial revolution. What do you mean by industrial revolution? Industries were made in England, and the raw material for those industries were taken from India, and the things that they used to make was sold here in India in cheaper prices. So weak army thie, we didn't had money. There was like lack of finance in Mughal treasury, because they already spent a lot of things on, there were actually a lot of foreign invasions. ठीक है, so उस वजह से भी things went out of control, and there was like modern weaponry was required, but they had no money. I could not backed off by the army. Moreover, fighting among the successor makes the efficiency of the army weak, which means the Hindus and Muslims and the Sikh and the people even fought, एक दूसरे से ये लड़ते रहते थे, which actually weakened the army a lot. After that, we had like internal invasions, foreign invasions, a lot of things. So my next video will be focusing on the internal invasions. Please be there, guys.